Um, yeah, I'm here on behalf of the defendant, Jamil Lockhart, and you're making a special appearance.
All right, well, you gotta make your special appearance to the Wayne County Jail. I told you that.
Looks like someone still hasn't made that long overdue visit to the Wayne County Jail. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're heading right back into Judge Perkins's courtroom to check on our returning scholar of sovereign gibberish, Jamil of the family Lockhart. Previously, Judge Perkins handed him a well-earned 30-day stint in county for his outbursts and blatant disrespect. Instead of reporting as ordered, Jamil chose to play a disappearing act, and, shocker, the consequences finally landed. He's now sitting on an active bench warrant, a frozen license, and a sudden desire to move this case along. The catch? Judge Perkins isn't entertaining a single word until those 30 days are served. No progress on the charges, no deals, no discussions, and once this hearing kicks off, it becomes crystal clear why the judge refuses to budge.
For all of these cases, because I don't believe that this court is capable of acting in an unbiased way. But I mean, there's been no response from the city, up to this point. I mean, just the last court date we had, perjury was committed. I mean, you guys put on the record that I failed to.
There was never any question. You flat out failed to show up. When the clerk called your case, your self-appointed sidekick jumped in and delivered the usual sovereign citizen bedtime story about you being Jamil of the family Lockhart, a flesh and blood man, attorney in fact, plus every other keyword she could throw together. Judge Perkins didn't buy even a fraction of it. You didn't appear as yourself, and you definitely weren't permitted to act as your own attorney. You'd need an actual law license for that, which you don't have. But honestly, that wasn't even the real problem. What really dug your hole deeper was the constant attitude, the arguing, and the refusal to follow even the simplest courtroom instructions. That's what pushed the judge over the edge. And the funniest part? You still pretend you have no idea why you're in this mess.
You still haven't showed up, so you're still disobeying. No, let's not do this. This is how it started the last time. You're still disobeying the court's order, and you have to do 30 days. You have to present yourself to the Wayne County Jail. You have a warrant out for your arrest, and before we go over this other stuff, you got to go. You have to go to the Wayne County Jail. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So
I said what
I can increase the time if you can take to not be compliant.
Your Honor, I apologize for interrupting the proceedings. May I have a breakout room with this litigant, please, and thank you?
I don't know if he wants to speak to a lawyer, but he can if he needs to. He has that right to do so. You want to speak to the lawyer, Mr. Lockhart, or no?
Honestly, I'm relieved Judge Perkins isn't giving him even a millimeter of leeway. From day one, he walked into that courtroom loud, combative, and acting like he was the only person who understood the law. Why on earth would anyone go out of their way to help someone who can't follow the simplest directions? Perkins is spot on. Those 30 days aren't up for debate. He earned every one of them with his constant interruptions and his parade of laughable pseudo-legal jargon. The real kicker is that none of this needed to happen. These were straightforward charges that could have been resolved nearly 2 years ago. But instead of facing the situation, he turned it into a spectacle. Now the consequences have finally come knocking. And the only payment he's got left is time behind bars.
We're gonna go with Mr. Lockhart. So I don't know why he's still sitting here.
Well, Your Honor, if the court will allow, we would like to attempt resolution of the matters that are on the docket. So I would ask if the court could stay the contempt proceedings and allow him to handle these matters.
No. It's been well over a year. No, he's gonna have to go turn himself in, and we'll deal with it that way.
Your Honor, if the court could, just in the interest of justice and judicial economy, if he could resolve these matters, if he's still going to have to do the 30 days in Wayne County Jail, if at time of sentencing, it could all be wrapped up together just to not further delay his constitutional right to speedy trial?
He's delayed his rights. He's delayed his rights to a speedy trial.
And I do have a resolution, Your Honor.
No, I don't want to. I'm not even going to entertain it. That ship has sailed. We tried to give him that opportunity a long time ago. He kept being contemptuous in the court. He comes with these far out legal theories that he has that I quite frankly, don't know where he's coming from on that. No, I'm not gonna even entertain that with it.
And Your Honor, I completely understand the court's position. I completely understand if he still has to do the 30 days Wayne County Jail, but I think that he was potentially misguided, did not understand the finer points of the law, court rules, and courtroom behavior and procedure. So now that he has the assistance of counsel, which I'm not saying that he didn't have the assistance of counsel before, if the court would allow him.
We offered him counsel then. He denied the counsel. Go back and look at the.
This is what I like to call the path of backwards momentum. Anytime a sovereign citizen manages to make the slightest bit of progress, they immediately tank it by figuratively gnawing on a handful of crayons and tripping 3 steps in the opposite direction. It's like they have a built-in allergy to basic logic. They get the smallest break, then immediately slam it into a legal brick wall with some handcrafted nonsense about living souls or flesh and blood jurisdiction. I've never seen another group so skilled at generating setbacks out of absolutely nothing. Watching them try to operate in a courtroom is like witnessing a slow-motion collapse they caused entirely on their own.
An opportunity to read up on the law and so he can make it and understand how this process goes. So go ahead to the Wayne County Jail. You can take some. They probably have some legal books there, and we'll hear these matters when you come out. So,
Your Honor, is any of this on the record or no? Or did we?
No,
not? Okay.
no, it's not on the record because I didn't call the cases. I'm going to continue on. That appears to be Charles Gardner.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Your Honor, am I allowed to go back in the breakout room to explain that to Mr. Lockhart? Because he seems to have had a change of heart if the court would allow him to at least.
Maybe he can go turn himself in and you can file an appeal, file something to get him heard before the court, and they can zoom in from the Wayne County Jail and we'll resolve it that way. But until he turns himself in, he's got a warrant out for his arrest. He's had this warrant out for I don't know how long. I can look back into the record, but and he's never presented himself. So he was contemptuous then. He continues to not follow or obey the court's orders. So he has to go do the time. Or hire himself a lawyer to get it back in front of the court. But until we get the first matter resolved that we had, we're not going to get into the other matters.
The contempt proceedings arise out of these, his appearance in court. So he's still not allowed to just resolve these before he commits himself to the Wayne County Jail?
It's amazing how your heartfelt apology suddenly appeared the moment you realized those 30 days of fine county jail dining were about to become the new start to your mornings. Remorse seems to hit hard when the thought of a stiff bunk and a cold metal meal tray finally becomes real. But genuine accountability doesn't show up only when jail is unavoidable. If you truly felt bad for the circus you caused, you would have marched into Wayne County on your own and taken the sentence like someone who actually understands what responsibility means. Instead, you tried to dodge the fallout, and now you're shocked that the judge isn't falling for the act. Consequences aren't optional. You earn them when you turn a courtroom into your personal clown show.
Here, I don't know what else to do, what else you can do for him, Mrs. Harris.
So, Your Honor,
She continues to disobey the court order, just continues to do so.
Your Honor, I dare not say, well, I don't know. I don't think that it's an intentional. Oh, I can't say that.
Wait a minute.
I don't think, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take that back. I think he has good intentions. I think he now has a better understanding of everything that is taking place.
I don't think so, because he came in here talking about he's appearing on behalf of the person Jameer Lockhart. So I think he's on the same path as he was that got him into this.
Maybe he should have thought about all of that before storming into court and acting like a complete clown. Choices have consequences, and he racked these ones up all on his own with the way he tried to turn a courtroom into his own sideshow. He clearly believed his little special appearance routine mattered more than any real-life responsibilities waiting for him at home. But that's the thing. When you intentionally disrespect the court, your personal priorities instantly take a back seat. Family, job, obligations, none of that outweighs the chaos he chose to unleash. And now he's looking for sympathy over the fallout he created himself.
He understands what it would take to resolve his matters. He understands how he has to represent himself in court. And so I think he's in a position that he wants to resolve these matters. We've had the discussion. We asked for leniency and mercy from the court. I understand if the condition is that he still has to do 30 days in the Wayne County Jail, although we would ask if the court would reconsider that sentence now that he has taken the time to actually listen to advice of counsel and be made fully aware of how he should present himself in court. I know that it's his intention to resolve these matters without any further court appearances or draining any further resources or delaying the process anymore. And I know that the court doesn't want to delay the process any further. I understand his behavior is what put us in this position as of right now, but we're just hoping to resolve today if the court will allow.
I'm not moved. I gave him ample, this is a 27 plus, maybe 30 plus minute video. I gave him ample opportunity. And I'm not moved.
I mean, Your Honor, in that video, I did apologize to you for, I guess.
You apologize after you got the.
Why is it that every sovereign citizen looks like they're experiencing a full body malfunction the moment they have to say their real legal name? Their whole expression just caves in under the weight of reality for a few painfully awkward seconds. You'd think stating your own name would be the easiest part of the day, but for them, it's treated like some kind of emotional crisis. I guess that's what happens when your entire persona is built around pretending you're a mystical, living being outside the reach of normal rules. And the way they squirm makes it obvious. They're not just dodging the system, they can't even handle themselves. It's the most fragile version of tough guy you'll ever witness.
I would apologize.
And you still haven't showed up, and it's been over a year, and now you want me to have some sympathy for you and to resolve the matters. I have no sympathy for you at all.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to discuss. We tried to give you a fair opportunity to be heard. You keep spewing these legal theories that I've never heard of before, and I've given you an opportunity at that day to speak with the lawyer. You refused that. You refused all the opportunities I've given you. And you came in here another time a couple of months ago, and I told you we weren't going to hear it then. You got to go report to the Wayne County Jail. So you've had ample opportunity.
You'd have me go to jail.
So, on behalf of Jamil Lockhart, I do understand that, and I know the court he may hear this often, but he does have a family that he supports. It would be a great hardship on his family, his resources, and his sense of economy in terms of his job if he would.
What exactly did you think the judge's job was? Passing out encouragement and life advice. His entire profession is to sit there, hear the facts, and cut through whatever chaos you bring into the courtroom. You handed him a pile of nonsense, and he's just processing the wreckage you created. And if you're suddenly feeling apologetic, maybe skip the judge altogether and send that apology to the taxpayers of Michigan. They're the ones bankrolling this never-ending circus. Every pointless motion, every wasted court date, every sovereign citizen monologue burns up public time and money just so you can pretend you're some misunderstood legal genius. You didn't just waste the court's time, you drained state resources, tested the community's patience, and dragged this out far longer than anyone deserved. And now you're stunned the judge isn't giving you a standing ovation?
He should have thought about that when I was asking him. I let him speak when I was asking him to not try to overtalk the court. Let me give him an opportunity to speak. He continued to disobey that. He should have thought about that then. There's a whole lot of people up in the penitentiary that have families that they take care of, and he's not going to the penitentiary. It's just county jail. So I'm just not moved.
Would this court consider amending it in such a way that he could only do weekends to complete his 30 days?
He hasn't even come to done anything. I'm not inclined to do anything for Mr. Jamir Lockhart or the person of Jamir Lockhart or whatever he wants to be called or however he wants to be described himself. Jamil Lockhart.
So yeah, he has the matters that are set on the docket for today. He has presented himself to the court today.
Okay, you want to take? We'll take off the warrant. We'll give him a pre-trial date, and then he can go do his 30 days. And he can tell the sheriff in there that what his next court date is, and or somebody can rid him out then. City of Detroit versus Jamil Amir Lockhart, case numbers SP 1247989, counts 1, 2, and 3. State of Michigan. Now the laws just don't apply to him. State of Michigan versus Jamil Amir Lockhart, case number SX 378-29611. Appearance for the record, please.
Sherika Harris, on behalf of Jamil Lockhart, sir, could you state the name of the person that you are representing on the record, please, or that you identify?
How precious. The moment real life puts a hard stop on your Fantasyland routine, suddenly you've become a big believer in cooperating with the very system you spent months mocking. After inhaling every terrible legal theory the internet had to offer, it finally hit you that a functioning adult actually needs a legitimate driver's license to survive. Amazing how quickly those sovereign citizen principles melt away when you can't rent a car, renew anything, or travel without smashing into a bureaucratic brick wall. All that dramatic talk about flesh and blood jurisdiction vanished the second real consequences kicked in. The minute your everyday conveniences disappeared, You bolted straight back to the very system you claimed didn't govern you. Funny how accountability suddenly looks attractive when it's the only path to getting your life unstuck.
So, sir, as we discussed, I think you would be better suited if you, 1, hire an attorney, 2, go to the Wayne County Jail and submit yourself so that your matters could be resolved. I understand that when you
Last
appear
time
in court, there's
I
different
checked,
attorneys.
he didn't want an attorney. And I guess you have gotten through to him a little bit. He changed it. He came in here, hearing on behalf of the person, Jameer Lockhart. And then when he asked him to state his name, he came and he indicated that he was Jameer Lockhart now. So I don't know what he, like I say.
I mean, if I could speak a little bit here. I don't know, Your Honor, I'm not a criminal. I just want to handle this, get this over with.
I didn't say you were a criminal, sir. I didn't listen.
Well, I know you didn't.
I didn't say you were a criminal. As it stands now, these are allegations. So until there's an adjudication of either guilt or not guilt, that'll determine, whether you're a criminal or not. So I don't know. You got these allegations out here. So I didn't make that comment. You were a criminal.
Right. No, I'm not saying that you did. But I just want to handle this and, put this to rest. At this point, I feel
That's not how any of this works. You don't disappear for a year, pop back in with a friendly grin, and act like the whole disaster was just an innocent mix-up. You behaved like a full-blown spectacle in that courtroom. And the fallout didn't just dissolve because you suddenly feel like playing by the rules. There's a cost to disrespecting the judge, and in your case, it comes stamped as 30 straight days in county. Separate from the charges, earned entirely by your attitude. You took a simple case and turned it into a traveling sideshow. And now you're surprised the consequences finally showed up? The judge isn't offering bargain deals for overdue apologies. Those 30 days are still waiting, no matter how politely you try to repackage yourself now.
I served the city residents of the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan and whoever comes in here. So it doesn't take up my time. This is what we do.
Yeah. And continuing, I would just like to, get this over with, pay whatever fines need to be paid. I would like to have my license back. I can't rent a car when I travel. I would like to be able to do that.
I've seen my fair share of clueless people, Lockhart, but you've managed to carve out a category all your own. You actually said all of that on a recorded court call, apparently forgetting that the judge could just rewind and use your own words to obliterate your entire argument. You openly admitted that your federal case wasn't about real damages or constitutional violations. It was purely a stunt to avoid jail time. Congratulations, you just confessed to manipulating the legal system while still acting like you're the courtroom expert. All Judge Perkins has to do is hit play, and your entire fragile plan collapses before it even leaves the runway. If self-sabotage were an Olympic sport, you'd take gold.
Last year, over a year and a half ago.
Okay. I just want to resolve this. Whatever I owe for those offenses, I'm willing to pay, and it'll be done with this situation. I truthfully don't think it's your, mission to put people in jail that have not harmed anybody or committed any offense against, any actual live human being. I'm only guilty of speaking out of turn, and I should have handled this differently. I can see that now. I really just want to get this whole situation rectified, and whatever the charges are that I need to pay, I'm willing to do that. And I'll put.
And that's a wrap on today's courtroom circus. But now I want to hear from you. Do you actually think Jamil, aka the smooth brain of the family Lockhart, will finally do the responsible thing and turn himself in like an adult? Or is he going to brush off the 30-day sentence, skip jail entirely, and stroll into his next hearing like nothing ever happened? Or, my personal favorite, will he go full sovereign citizen mode again, declare himself some cosmic, free-range being with the brain power of a lukewarm toaster, and refuse to show up until deputies physically haul him in? If I were betting, Dar number 3 would be my pick every time. Drop your predictions in the comments. And if you like the breakdown, give it a thumbs up. If not, hit dislike. It still feeds the algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss the next meltdown, arrest, or sovereign citizen spectacle that lands in Judge Perkins's courtroom.